Hi, I'm Kat and this is my allotment plot down in Cornwall. This is the first video I've done. I just wanted to do a bit of a video tour to show you the plot I have. This is my 4th year growing now, taking it on at the end of 2020, so sort of in the midst of COVID times. We've done quite a bit of work to clear it. There's still an area that we haven't worked on yet, which is what I'm going to be documenting mainly over the autumn-winter period, ready for next year. I almost gave the plot up actually last winter when I was due to pay the fees for this year. The weeds and just the growth of the trees and everything was just felt a bit too much. I just didn't feel like I could cope anymore with how quickly it grows and how much work I have to put in for it to just a few weeks down the line just be as bad again. But there was something in the back of my mind that I thought, no, I do love it here, so I'm gonna pay the fee and actually do something about it. So I spent all of last autumn and winter working on it, clearing it again. I have eventually had to cave and use weed membrane to suppress the weeds. A lot of wood chip, which is delivered free on the site, so that's handy. And it has made a huge difference. It's meant I can come down here all through the summer and not have to spend a massive amount of time, just potter around, enjoy it, even sit down and take in my hard work. So it's been really nice. But yeah, I hope you enjoy the plot tour. I will pop up a few pictures to show the progress we've made since taking on the plot, and also what we plan to do with the area we haven't worked on yet. But yeah, I hope you enjoy. The other thing I just wanted to add before I start the tour is that just how much stuff we've actually managed to source for free on Marketplace. We have a lot of paving slabs which we managed to source for free. Somebody was actually ripping up their paving, and yeah, we managed to get like 50 slabs for free. Obviously it was quite a mammoth task bringing them down, but we have those. As I say, the wood chip is delivered free. We've picked up loads of wood over the last few years, as and when we can get our hands on it, which has helped us to build the pathways and the raised beds. I have the greenhouse I'm stood in now was free, the polytunnel was free, the shed was free. The only thing I've really paid out for is the weed membrane, but that was somebody was just getting rid of a roll on Marketplace that they hadn't used, so I didn't actually buy it new. Yeah, we've got some staging, or the wooden stage frame from my husband's job. They were getting rid of it, so I've made a cage into that. Another polytunnel frame that somebody was getting rid of. So we've very much reused other people's junk, and that's what I want to do really, is to just try and make it as sustainable as possible really, without buying lots of plastic and buying new, just reusing other people's junk. So yeah, I will now move on to the tour. So this area is relatively new. I put in this pathway in the winter time. It used to just be one big area and it was kind of thigh-high weeds last year. So I put down weed membrane, a wooden frame, which leads over to the water back. And then I had spring bulbs in here, and then I've added some perennials, which have really filled the space quite nicely. And hopefully next year we should have a lot more colour. This is where I had a few strawberries, a lot of cornflowers, which sadly got battered by the wind and rain a few months ago, so I had to pull those out. Cosmos, some sunflowers, which did really well. I also put in this frame, which is quite flimsy to be fair, and I mean, growing sweet peas up, it's fine, which are now coming to an end. I'll just let those go to seed, ready for next year. But yeah, the frame wasn't the best, but it does the job. Over here we had potatoes. When they finished, I covered the ground and just popped in a couple of pumpkins at the side, which obviously have grown across. I just find the black sheeting also helps to kind of reflect the heat when it is sunny, to help the pumpkin growth. And we have got some pumpkins in there. I have no idea what variety. I hope to just sort of build a small bed around here just to have flowers sort of spilling over onto the path. This is the runner bean frame, which I need to work on next year. It was pretty flimsy and the runner beans have actually got rust, so I'm just leaving what's left on there to go to, well, let the beans grow, which I'll hopefully save for next year. Yeah, definitely need to move that structure and build something more substantial. Here is the polytunnel that we got for free. I did get a bit battered in the winters, so my lovely dad built a more solid frame and popped an old shed door on, and it's really made a huge difference. So in here I've got the last of the tomatoes. Again, no idea on the variety. I've also got parsnips. Carrots. I've also sown some more carrots down here, an autumn variety. But yeah, I'm just going to see what happens with the parsnips. So here is my greenhouse. Just put some slabs in. We've had tomatoes, chilies and cucumbers growing in here. Let's see this whopper of a tomato. I've no idea of the variety. I saved some seeds from some tomatoes last year and just dried them out in some tissue and then popped them in compost, and voila. We've got some cucumbers. They're lovely, although the skins are quite tough, so we have been peeling the skins. Here are the chilies that we have left. Got quite a few chilies on this one here. Sunflower heads that I was saving for the birds, but a little mouse has come in and devoured everything. There's some spring bulbs there ready to plant. More tomatoes. And some dahlias, which I thought I dug out, but clearly I missed a couple of tubers and they have gone insane. Right, out we come again. Go through here. This was my Charlotte potatoes, so then when the bed was cleared, I've then actually put all my strawberries in there. A fellow allotment grower gave me some runners, so I've put them in. Some of them have taken, some haven't, but yeah, we should have a lot more strawberries next year. Rhubarb over there. This has always been a bit of a problem area on the plot because of this massive oak tree. Sun does come up behind me, so it does get sunshine for the first part of the day, but then it's in shade for the remainder. So I have a polytunnel frame that somebody had going on another plot. I just covered it in this sort of scaffold netting really, Just means no butterflies can get in and lay their eggs, but it still obviously gets the rain and the air that it needs. So I've got a variety of things in here. Had some Romanesco cauliflower, we've got sweetheart cabbage, Savoy cabbage, some swede, there's some Brussels sprouts as well. But these were kind of the leftovers from the seedlings that I did have. But I didn't want to get rid of any, so I just whacked them in there and I thought I'll see how they go. This end of the plot is also not really, we haven't used it at all this year, so I need to figure out what to do there. In front of the shed, I've put a small strip with some plants in. A rose, which isn't looking too healthy. Maybe it'll come round. But I want that to kind of be like white flowers. And obviously I've got some sunflowers in there at the moment. Excuse the noise. The plot, well, the end of the plot is a very busy road, so I'm not sure how well you will hear this. This area was where I planned to have sort of a flower bed area, but nature's taken over. So these ferns that you can see have self-seeded and they're really happy there, and I really quite like them. We've got some wild strawberry and a lot of other plants which are obviously starting to die back now. But it's actually quite nice when it's all green and lush. There is actually a pathway down here which is buried. As you can see, I have masses and masses of mint. I did plant them in pots, but obviously, like anyone who grows mint knows, they just find a way of escaping, and the roots have obviously spread everywhere. But obviously it's going over now, and then I'll chop it back, but it does look lovely during the spring. These 3 beds were the first 3 beds that we had on the plot. We did have onions in here. I really don't have very much luck with onions. I don't know what the tip is, but I grow mine from sets, and the first year I ever grew any, I had amazing onions, and then the last few years they're no bigger than golf balls, so I'm tempted just not to grow any anymore. The second bed also had onions, and now they've finished. I put in potatoes for Christmas. Over the back there are leeks and a couple of swedes and one random sunflower, which I popped in when it was really small, and now it's really got to a decent size. Hopefully it'll get to, yeah, it should get to flower. This is the staging I talked about. So we've made like a really long bed and covered it again in the scaffold netting, which has worked brilliantly, but it is difficult to get in and out of when I need to weed or harvest, so I need to rethink that idea. But as you can see, we've got a nice Savoy cabbage in there. We've got some nice swede. We've had lovely swede, and obviously more to come. Cauliflowers didn't do so well. They just bolted and went to flower. Down here is the kids' old swing set. They used to just argue when they came here to use it, and I was like, do you know what? I'm actually going to stop that. So I've popped some chicken wire up and grown the pumpkins up. And as you can see, this one's coming on lovely, nice and orange. And the other one, I think, is just starting to turn. Just starting to get a bit of colour. But yeah, good weight. And they're just, yeah, hanging on. Another one there. Then I have a bed through here, which had sweetheart cabbage, Savoy cabbage, Brussels sprouts that are coming on at the far end, and yes, a few more Savoy cabbages coming on, and sweetheart cabbage. I've got courgette here, which has still got lots of courgettes coming, which, yeah, we've been overrun with courgettes. And yeah, the pumpkins in here. I'll see if I can get a little bit closer. Yeah. There's another one hiding in there somewhere. I was taking off all the small ones that started to appear, but now I'm just going to leave them and let them do their thing. Can't believe actually how much it's raining now. It's been dry all day. We decided to go out walking and have a swim. But yeah, now the rain is pelting down, but yeah, I'm not going to complain. The next area I'm going to show you is the area we haven't worked on yet, so yeah, I'll just talk you through what we plan to do with it. And yeah, if you've got any comments on grass, seed or turf, please let me know because I've never dealt with either before, so I don't know what would work best. So yeah, any tips, let me know. So this is the area I'm talking about. It's quite a large area, right from the greenhouse all the way up to the gate, which is the entrance to the plot. We did clear all this earlier this year and put the ground sheet down, so the weeds have been suppressed there. This bit here has gone wild, so this is what I'll be tackling next. So basically when I come down here, I'm always on my own. The kids, if I mention the allotment, oh, I don't want to go to the allotment. So I need to find a way of making it more family friendly. And I thought if there was an area with grass and some nice flowers, if they came down here, I can potter around, they can chill. We can maybe have a barbecue, invite some friends down for a barbecue. And I just like, it would be so nice to just pick some fresh produce and actually use it, like cook it, like courgettes, and make a salad and things like that. So that's the plan, is just to have more flower beds. Don't have much of a garden at home, so it would be nice to have that. I've always dreamt of having like a nice cottage garden, so lots of perennials. And yeah, just make it like a really nice, welcoming space. And this area gets the full sun all day, so it would be quite nice to have an area to sit down. Thank you so much for watching, I really appreciate it. If you like what you've seen and you want to follow along as I work my way through the plot, clearing it, and see what I get up to next, then please click like and subscribe. I would really appreciate it. Speak to you soon.